Hello, I have chosen to use Flipgrid and Kahoot for my professional development training. I felt like both of these programs would add interesting elements for student learning, and I loved how in one of the trainings that I was looking at, it talked about how these programs engage students from the back row. So no matter where you're sitting in the classroom, you can be more engaged and more interested in the learning. So Flipgrid can be used to get student responses to questions, how they solved a problem in math, to how to give their opinions on a current event or social studies question. They could also respond about what they've learned at the end of a unit or what they would recommend to another student. Kahoot offers quizzes to engage students and check for their understanding on a topic, to review and reinforce skills. It also offers polls to gauge confidence on a topic, discussions for self-assessment and to ask questions about what they need to figure out in the future, and data to differentiate the learning. Kahoot is great for formative assessment. I also loved this idea of students creating Kahoot quizzes. So I found several different examples of this on Teachers Pay Teachers, but this is a free one that I found. And I think it would be a great way for a student to participate on both sides of the Kahoot quiz, that they could take the quiz, but then they could also make questions up. And from what I read online, students really enjoy doing this, and the teachers found it a really rewarding activity for them. Needs assessment and learner analysis. So I sent out a survey to my teachers and asked them what they would like more information about. I found that most teachers in my school are new to technology in the classroom, and just by talking with them, I have realized that they really don't use their Chromebooks for much outside of testing, a little bit for math and a little bit of typing. So in the past they had iPads, but this year they're using Chromebooks. So a lot of Chromebook information is new to them in general. The teachers that I talked with individually haven't tried either program, and they were interested in learning something new. My principal is super supportive of anything new I want to do, and I think she would be receptive to adding these to a faculty meeting. I would do them separately, one at each meeting, so that they wouldn't take very long. My objectives at the end are that one, teachers should have Flipgrid and Kahoot accounts by the end of both meetings. The teachers will have tested out the programs to see how they work for the students, and teachers will create a sample quiz in Kahoot or a grid in Flipgrid to start with their classroom. So they should have an example of one going and be ready and prepared to do whatever they need to for their classroom learning. Incentives that I thought would be fun would be maybe a gift certificate to the teacher who used the program the most over the semester to try to encourage them to use it. If I did a presentation with both of the programs together, both Flipgrid and Kahoot, maybe in like a morning session with teachers from all over the district, it might be fun to offer it over lunch or at a time where I could provide breakfast or lunch or food of some kind, just to make it more fun for them while they are doing that. Guided practice. So at the faculty meeting, we would, as a group, try Kahoot one month, Flipgrid the next. The teachers would bring their Chromebooks to the meeting. They would each have one. We would go through the applications as the agenda shows. So the agenda shows that, so I put learning Flipgrid as one and learning Kahoot as one. I would do evaluations separately after both of them. So there would be 2 evaluations. Learning Flipgrid, they're both very similar. The first questions are, what are Flipgrid or Kahoot? Whichever one you're doing. Why would I want to use this program? Examples of those in the classroom, how they are currently used. And then we would look at, for Flipgrid, how do I use Flipgrid with a short demo. They would set up accounts and create their first grid, and then they would break up into small groups and answer a question on your neighbor's grid for the people at your table. So they would be able to interact with the people at their table, and then we would take questions. Kahoot I did a little bit differently because I did a demo where we did a Kahoot quiz as a group, because I think it would work well as an all group activity. So everyone would just log in, take a few of the tests, and I think they would quickly see how it works. So then at the end, we would have questions and the evaluation. So like I've already said, I would present this probably at a faculty meeting, or I could do them both together if I was presenting it for a combined staff meeting. So at a faculty meeting, I would demonstrate Kahoot 1 month, Flipgrid the next, to a group of 5th and 6th grade teachers. All teachers are already required to attend the faculty meeting, so they would already be there. To evaluate the programs, I would just have a Google form online, or it might be fun to even try Kahoot for that and have my questions in Kahoot. Or I guess I could even have my questions in Flipgrid and have them do video evaluations of that. So I would ask the following questions. Did you like Kahoot or Flipgrid? So I would ask each question after each program. So I would have one evaluation for Kahoot and one for Flipgrid. They just have some similar questions. Would you use Kahoot or Flipgrid in your classroom? Did the material make sense? Do you have any further questions? Is there anything you would have preferred done differently? So it would be great if I did Kahoot first, I could get an evaluation, and then I could maybe change something if I needed to before I did my Flipgrid presentation. Some of my favorite references from this project were from YouTube. I enjoyed going through the YouTube tutorials, and that is how I learned how to use Flipgrid and Kahoot both. So I also really liked the Kahoot for Schools, had a whole channel of different ideas which would be helpful to teachers. They could go in there and watch all different kinds of trainings and figure out how to use different applications if they needed to. I also really liked the reviews and information on Common Sense Media, especially this first one, the best formative assessment tools, tips, and lessons. I thought that was really helpful as far as teachers seeing the difference that it makes to use engaging applications like these to further formative assessment, and to be able to go back and assess the assessment even. What did you learn? What would you like to have learned differently? It really shows, I think, on either of them, it could really work to further student understanding. Finally, I have my handouts that I would give to teachers. I just did a simple one for Flipgrid. I feel like it is pretty simple. I mean, the process of adding the topics is a pretty simple process. It's mainly just filling out the form. So we would go through that together, and I think that it would be pretty easy to do. The Kahoot, I think, is also easy to do, but I liked being able to show the teachers what the students see versus what they have on their screen, just so they would have that for their own personal knowledge as they're going through things if they need to refer back to them. So my Kahoot handout is a little bit longer than my Flipgrid one. I think once you do one, the other one is similar to set up the account and somewhat similar to use as far as just filling out the form and the way that the teachers and the students see different things. So I think once they understand one, they will understand the other pretty well. So overall, I think that both of these different applications will be great examples for my teachers to use in the classroom. I think that it'll be interesting to hear what they think about how it has enhanced their learning this year and their student engagement. I also think it would be interesting to see how the students respond to this. I'm planning on using Flipgrid this week with my students, so I think it will be fun to try it out with them and see what their responses are like. So thank you for watching my presentation on Flipgrid and Kahoot.